Hey guys, I hope you're all having a really great week. Today I have a few more recipes that I want to share with you. One is my husband's favorite weekend breakfast. I make this for him a lot, so I thought I'd share that with you. It's a low carb option. And he loves pork chops from Brio, but they don't carry them anymore. So I actually found a Copycat recipe I'm gonna try so he can tell me if they taste like the real thing. And third, I don't know if you watch Jessica O'Donoghue's channel on YouTube, but I love watching her. She always has great recipes and she's very entertaining, so check her out if you haven't seen her. But she recently made this chicken and rice dish that she absolutely raved about. So I'm excited to try that. So I'm gonna try that for you guys today too and tell you what I think of it. So let's get cooking. I'm gonna share with you a really easy low carb biscuits and sausage gravy recipe. So all I'm gonna need for the sausage gravy is 1 pound of Bob Evans sausage, a 1/4 cup of cream cheese, I believe, some garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, and heavy cream. And then this is Carbquick. It's pretty much like a low carb Bisquick mix. So I'm gonna use that to make the biscuits. You can just use regular Bisquick, or whatever you usually use for your biscuits. You can even buy them in the can. But all I'm gonna do is combine 2 cups of the Carbquick with 2/3 cup of water. Mix that together, form 6 biscuits, and then I will bake that in a 350-degree oven until they're done. So while my biscuits are baking, I'm gonna go ahead and start on the sausage gravy. So the first thing to do is just to brown the sausage until it's cooked through. Now that my sausage is cooked, I will go ahead and add my garlic powder, onion powder, and pepper, stir that in, and then I will add in my cream cheese and stir that until the cream cheese is well combined with the sausage. That's well combined, so now I will add in my heavy cream and water, and I will let that come to a boil, and then you just want to cook this until your desired thickness. Usually I cook it for about 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, so that's about the consistency I want, and as this cools down, it will thicken a little bit. And I will show you over here. So I baked these for 12 minutes, and you're supposed to melt some butter and brush that over the top. I decided to be kind of lazy today. We just use a little bit of butter spray, and voila, perfect. Okay, so Derek's very picky about how he does this, so let's watch the master at work.
Not really, I just gotta make sure there's enough. Not real picky, just gotta make sure there's plenty.
Now all of this is enough for Derek for about 2 meals, so.
What's that?
All of this.
Well, yeah, I mean, you gotta get more than 1 serving. I mean, come on.
Sorry, don't mind our mess back here, but all right.
Now, another thing I will add, there is just no substitute for the Bob Evans sausage. Personally, I just love it. I've grown up on it, and that is just like my go-to. So definitely make sure that Bob Evans sausage makes a huge difference. And then a little hot. I probably shouldn't have taken as big a bite as I did, but oh, this is just comfort food at its finest right here.
And this is one of his favorites because he knows I won't eat it. So anytime I make it, obviously it's for him, and he needs to eat all of it.
And it's low carb. It just tastes awesome, especially for being on keto.
All right, we'll let him eat. Derek always talks about the pork chops that they used to have at Brio. I guess they don't have them anymore, but I did find a Copycat recipe on the internet because he absolutely loved them. So it seems pretty simple. So we just have some pork chops, some zesty Italian dressing, honey, rosemary. You're supposed to use fresh rosemary, but I don't have any, so we're just gonna use dried balsamic vinegar and black pepper. First thing we're gonna do is just marinate the pork chops themselves with the Italian dressing. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, get that in the refrigerator, let that sit for a few hours, and then we'll finish the pork chops. Our pork chops have been marinating for about 4 hours in the refrigerator. So now what I'm gonna do is take them out of here. I'm going to reserve this marinade. Now I'm going to air fry mine. You could totally do these in the oven, but because I want these to be done pretty quickly, I'm gonna go ahead, pop these in the air fryer, and then I'm going to use the rest of this marinade along with the other ingredients, and we're going to make a sauce to go on top. I added the rest of that Italian dressing into a pot along with my balsamic vinegar, my honey, the pepper, and also the rosemary. I let this come up to a boil so that it would thicken, and then this was ready to put on top of the pork chops. All right, well, the pork chops got a little bit more done than I had hoped, but I think it'll still be good. So here is our sauce. It's nice and thick. So I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit of that over the pork chop. And we'll have Derek try it. Okay, let's see what he thinks. Sorry, it's a little done.
That's all right. That's like nostalgia right there. That is delicious.
And then we just made some potatoes. We just roasted those in the oven, so. Good.
That taste. It's like a sweet, savory, like a balsamic Italian is what it is.
Okay, well that's exactly what it is, so.
Oh, see, there you go.
With honey. All right, well I'm gonna let him eat. Okay, so I'm super excited for tonight's dinner. I mentioned this in my intro, but this is going to be an oven-baked chicken and rice dish that I got off of Jessica O'Donoghue's YouTube page, which I will link that video below. But I already diced up 1 onion. I need some butter, some garlic, and then I'm gonna make a rub for my chicken from thyme, paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, pepper, maybe a little bit of salt, we'll see. And then I'm gonna need some chicken stock and some rice. And of course, I am not showing my chicken. I need to get my chicken out of the refrigerator. But the first thing I'm gonna do is, in a baking dish, I'm gonna put my onion, butter, and garlic, and I'm gonna let that cook for about 15 minutes until that onion is pretty well sauteed. Then we're gonna add our rice and our liquids and let that cook for a little while, and then we'll add the chicken. Alright, so I just pulled the sauteed onion, garlic, and butter out of the oven. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my rice, my chicken stock, some water, and I'm going to cover this up and put it back into the oven. While that rice mixture is cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare the rub for my chicken. So I'm combining some paprika, some thyme, some garlic powder, onion powder, and also some pepper. I'll stir that to combine, and then I am going to rub that onto both sides of my chicken. I pulled the rice out of the oven after about 15 minutes, stirred it, and then I nestled my chicken into that mixture, put that back into the oven for around 30 minutes, uncovered. All right, so this took a lot longer to cook than I expected. My chicken got done, but my rice still was not done, so I ended up removing the chicken and putting the rice back in. I cooked it for about another 15 minutes or so until the rice got cooked. We already tried this. It's good. It's not as tasty as I had hoped. Didn't have quite as much flavor as I hoped. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of Parmesan cheese to the top, and that's it. So we're gonna go ahead and dig in. It did turn out good, but I would probably add a little bit more seasoning to it, and I think the Parmesan cheese will also make a difference. During the week, I always make a soup for lunch. I find the soups are fairly healthy and delicious and filling, so I like to have one on hand for lunches during the week. So this week I'm gonna make this lemon and rice soup. I already chopped up some of my veggies. We've got some onion, carrots, and also some celery. I'll need some dill, cannellini beans, parsley, spinach, 6 total cups of chicken broth, some lemon juice, garlic, arborio rice, bay leaves, and oregano. So the first thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and saute my onion. I'm just gonna saute it in a little bit of veggie broth. You could use oil if you wanted. And then I'll add in my carrots, my celery, and also my garlic. Okay, so while my veggies are sauteing, I'm going to add my rinsed cannellini beans and 1 cup of veggie broth into my bullet. So I've got this ready to go. So I'm gonna combine that, and then we're gonna pulse it till it's nice and smooth. So now it's nice and smooth. Unfortunately, lid wasn't on quite tight enough, but it's okay. So this is gonna go into our soup too as a natural thickener. So now that my veggies were fairly tender, I added in that bean and veggie broth mixture along with the rest of my vegetable broth, also the lemon juice, and my rice, my pepper, and my bay leaves. Oh yeah, I forgot my oregano as well. I stirred all of this to combine, let this come up to a boil, and then I turned it down to simmer and let this cook for another 20 to 25 minutes until the veggies were tender and the rice was cooked through. I then added in my dill, my parsley, and my spinach, stirred that to combine, and I added a little bit more lemon juice, and I just let this cook for a few more minutes. And don't forget to remove the bay leaves before you eat the soup. So our soup is done. Look how good that is. It's so nice and thick. Just adding those beans after putting them in the food processor made such a huge difference in terms of the thickness of this soup. So I'm going to dish some up and show you how I'm gonna top it off. So there's our bowl of soup. I'm just gonna top it off with a little bit more parsley, and because cheese makes everything better, just a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Now I already tried a little bit of it before I took it out of the pot. This is so good. It's nice and light, and with the addition of the lemon juice in there, it reminds me of spring. It's really fresh. The dill gives it a really fresh flavor. This is so good. I will definitely be enjoying this week for lunch. Okay, well that's it for today. I really hope that you enjoyed these recipes. If you try them, please let me know. And if you would, please give this video a thumbs up so I know you'd like to see more videos like this. I'll see you guys soon.